Hi friends, and welcome back to Jewelry with Jen. I am Jen and thank you for joining today. I have a fun project in store today. I want to do a bookmark. I've done many bookmarks, but we haven't done them in a while, and I want to do something really fun today. And so let's jump into it. So what I'll do, guys, is I'm going to finish off one end. So I'm going to feed a crimp on, and then I'm going to feed on a wire guardian. And then I'm going to take this wire guardian, I'm going to put it right on my clasp, and therefore no jump ring needed. And hopefully I cut myself a long enough piece of wire, I'm hoping. Let me squeeze that together. And then what I'm going to do is, before I put my crimp on my tail there, I am going to feed the wire guardian right through my clasp, and then I will push that crimp up through the tail, just like that, to go ahead and crimp it. You can also squeeze your wire guardian together if you need to. And we'll push that crimp up, and let me uncross my wires, switch hands, and make sure my wires are uncrossed here. And then I'm going to go ahead and crimp that, and I'm just going to use my regular crimper, guys. You could use a magical crimper. You can do whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. Turn it to the side, make a taco, and that is what I have to get it started. So not coming off. The wire guardian is right on my clasp, which is lovely. And now we're going to just go ahead, and because I'm working from the top down, I'm going to work from this side. So I'm going to put on that little CZ spacer, and then I'm going to put on my Bible bead. Now, when I'm putting on the bottom, I'm going to make sure that I'm feeding it on the same direction. Let me get the tail through there. So I'm going to make sure that my bead is, even though it'll turn around, this one has, you can clearly see that there's a little notch at the top of my bead there, right there. So I'm just going to make sure that my beads on the top and the bottom that are matching are going to be strung on the same way. And then I'm just actually going to do some color blocking, guys. And then what we're going to do here is the top of my chain, I'm going to go ahead and put it directly on my wire guardian. So first I'm going to put on my crimp, and then we're going to feed on our wire guardian here, guys. And I'm going to put the chain right on my wire guardian, if I can get it through. I really can't hardly even see where the hole of the barrel is. Goodness me. Did I get it? Got it. Haha. I gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to feed the tail of my wire back down the other barrel of the wire guardian first. And then once I've done that, I am going to grab my little scrap chain, which, by the way, is 1.5 inch piece chain that I cut. I just counted all my beads out and cut my scrap piece of chain according to the size I needed. And I'm going to feed that tail back through my crimp. Okay, got it. Let me do my tug test. Okay. And then I'll flush cut. And there we go. So that is just basically done. And that's what I have. So cute. What I love about this too is if I'm going out for Bible study, you know, I can hang my keys right on there or whatever. I can not tell you how much I love those clasps. Okay, so now let's just grab a little piece of wire. I'm going to use the 24 gauge. I'm going to warm it up with my hands. A little bit. We don't need much, just a tiny piece. About a 3-inch piece or so there. And then we'll grab our round nose. And we'll go ahead and just put in a right bend, pull that around, and we will pop that loop open first and feed that last link of my chain on. Let that drop in my loop, and then I will go ahead and hold that loop right there with my chain nose, and then I can just wrap that wire around a couple of times. And then basically what I'm gonna do is something similar, because I'm wanting to add this right on there. So I'm just gonna basically go like right above that wrap, and I'm just gonna kind of bend that forward, pull it back around, and so I'm just basically gonna have like a wrap situation in between my loops here. Pop that open. I'm gonna go ahead and slide my little cross charm right on down there and close that wire. And now, I think I'm gonna grab a different pair of pliers. I'm gonna hold that, and now I am going to wanna fill up that entire gap. So actually, let me move it this way and see which way am I turning here. Okay. And so I'm just gonna wanna go ahead and fill up my whole gap. So I'm just gonna wrap this around until basically it meets the other piece of the wire. Now that is kind of a long wrap, but that's okay. It's for me, so I don't mind it, not at all. And I'm gonna kind of go back and lay the wraps over the ones I just did to go back down, just so it kind of matches the top there. And we'll get rid of that, clip that off. Now everything is all secure, hunky-dory, easy breezy. Tuck that burr in. You can find it, there you are. So I kind of want to tuck that in. Make sure I don't feel any pokies. Nope. And because that was just 24 gauge, so if you need to move your wire around a little bit, you can. But I don't mind the big fat wrap. I surely don't. And it dangles just perfectly. And there we go, guys. So we made a fun little bookmark, and it's really quite pretty. I got a little sparkle, my favorite colors. Love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are inspired to make some bookmarks of your own. And until next video, friends, be blessed.